Okay, so to tell if a function is linear or non-linear, you gotta look at the y values and see if there's a consistent pattern. So from 7 to 9.5, 9.5 minus 7, 0.0, if there's nothing after the decimal, you could put 0.0. That's 5, that's 2, 2.5. So 2.5. And then from 9.5 to 12, so 12 minus 9.5. Borrow from there. 10 minus 5 is 5. 1 minus 9. 11 minus 9 is 2, so that's 2.5. And this is also going up by 2.5. So since the function is going up by the same amount every time, this is called a linear function. Number 2, the relationship between x and y. Look at the y values. The y values are going up by 25. So if you use the equation y equals mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept, your y value, well, the 25, the pattern right here, this is all your m value. 25 is m. And to do y equals mx plus b, you can pick any of these points for your y and your x. I'm going to use 1 and 25. So 25 is in the y spot, so 25 equals, m is 25 as well, x is 1 plus b. So this is 25 equals 25 plus b. Subtract 25 from both sides, and we get b equals 0. There's also a shortcut to this. If you notice the pattern, going to the right, you're adding 25. So if we went back 1, this would be 0, 0. And since this is our y value and x is 0, therefore our b value is also 0. So our answer is y equals 25x. Okay, Bill earns $24 per hour. Use P for pay and H for hours. So Bill's pay is equal to $24 per hour. That's it. For 4, find the 4th, so that's 4, 7th, and 10th terms described by the rule. So this is going to be 7 plus... Each of these numbers is going to take the place of n. Sorry, there's a fly around here. I gotta get this fly. This is bugging me. Okay, that fly has a death wish. So 7 plus 4th, 4. So we're going to put 4 in where n is. So 4 minus 1 times 3. And we're going to do that for all of them. 7 plus, instead of n, I'm going to write 7 minus 1 times 3. And 7 plus, instead of n, I'm going to write 10 minus 1 times 3. So use order of operations, parentheses first. So 7 plus 4 minus 1 is 3 times 3. 7 plus 7 minus 1 is 6 times 3. 7 plus 10 minus 1 is 9 times 3. So if you do order of operations is please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Parentheses we did, there's no exponents. Now we multiply or divide. So 3 times 3 is 9, 6 times 3 is 18, 9 times 3 is 27. So we multiplied and divided. And our last step is to add. So 7 plus 9 is 16. 7 plus 18 is 25, and 7 plus 27 is 34. That is the 4th, 7th, and 10th number. Explicit formula, here we go. What is the recursive formula? So an explicit formula looks like a of n equals a of 1 plus n minus 1 times d. So notice how instead of a of 1, there's a 3, and instead of d, you have negative 4. So in our recursive formula, a of n equals a of n minus 1 plus d, where a of 1 equals blank. We're going to just plug in for a of 1 and d. So a of n equals a of n minus 1 plus d. Our difference is negative 4, so this would actually be a minus 4. And a sub 1 right here is 3, so put in 3. Oh, whoops. A sub 1 equals 3. There's our recursive rule. Done. Okay, number 6. Determine if it's arithmetic and write the formula, an explicit formula to represent it. So this is plus 3, plus 3. These numbers are going up by 3. So that means it is arithmetic. And if it's arithmetic, we have to do the formulas. So we have a sub n equals a sub 1 plus n minus 1 times d. And we also have the recursive formula, a of n equals a of n minus 1 plus d, where a of 1 equals blank. So for the explicit formula, this first one right here is explicit. A of n equals a of 1, that's the first term of our sequence. The first term of our sequence is negative 5, plus n minus 1. D is our difference, and our difference is 3. So that's our explicit rule. For our recursive rule, a sub n equals a sub n minus 1. Our difference was 3, so we put plus 3. And our first term was negative 5. There's our recursive rule. For number 7, it might look at first to be arithmetic, because 20, 18, 16, 14, it looks like the numbers are going down, but that's a negative and a positive and a negative. So this right here is like minus 38. And then from here to here, it's like plus 34. And from here to here, it's like minus 30. It's actually a really big change. If these weren't negative, it'd be arithmetic. But it's not arithmetic, because you are not adding or subtracting the same amount. The other way that you could check is just subtract a number from the one before it. So negative 18 minus 20, that's negative 38. But negative 14 minus 16 is negative 30. Since these are not the same, it's not arithmetic. They need to have a common difference. For 8, just like the one that we did beforehand, plug the numbers into the function. So f of x equals negative 3 times negative 4 plus 2, negative 3 times 2 plus 2, negative 3 times 5 plus 2. We're just plugging the numbers in for the function wherever we see x. So negative 3 times negative 4 is 12, and plus 2 is 14. Negative 3 times 2 is negative 6, plus 2 is negative 4. Negative 3 times 5 is negative 15, plus 2 is negative 13. So our range, remember when you list the range, you have curly brackets, and you list them from smallest to greatest, so negative 13, negative 4, 14. That's our range. For 9, we do the same thing. It's x squared, so this would be negative 2 squared minus 4, 0 squared minus 4, and 3 squared minus 4. Notice how I put parentheses around everything, because if you don't use parentheses and you try to use a calculator, the calculator will do it wrong. So you got to make sure you put parentheses around it. Negative 2 squared is 4, and 4 minus 4 is 0. 0 squared is 0. 0 minus 4 is negative 4. 3 squared is 9, and 9 minus 4 is 5. So our range is -4, 0, 5. Whether the relationship is continuous or discrete. So height over time. Time is something that you can cut in half. You can have half of a second. You can have half of a minute. So therefore, this would be considered a continuous function. Okay. And this one says the price of maple bars. So if you go to a donut shop, you're buying a maple bar. They don't sell half a maple bar. So since you cannot cut this in half, this would be considered a discrete function. Because let's say it's $2 for a maple bar. If it's $2 for one, that means it's $4 for another one, and $6 for 3 maple bars. You will never ever get a number that's an odd number. You'll never get 3, you'll never get 5. So because this is not a continuous function, you can't have all the numbers in between here, it's considered discrete. Okay, state whether they represent a function. So look at the x values. We have 0, 1, 2, and 3. Since the x values do not repeat, this is a function. 0, 2, 4, 6, the x values don't repeat, function. 0, 1, 2, 1, the x values repeat. This says 1 goes to 5, but this says 1 goes to 4. 1 cannot go to 2 separate places. You can't be in 2 places at once, so therefore, this is not a function. Okay, on the test, they're going to make you come up with your own numbers, but for these numbers, you always pick multiples of the denominator, so you want multiples of 3. So the first one will be -4/3 times -3 minus 3. And when you multiply fractions, you multiply the top number, divide by the bottom number. So multiplying the top, -3 times -4, that's +12. So we multiplied the top. Now we need to divide by the denominator, the bottom number. 12 divided by 3 is 4. So 4 minus 3 is 1. So that's 1. -4/3 times 0 minus 3. Anything times 0 is just 0. So this is just minus 3. And finally, we got -4/3 times 3 minus 3. 3 times -4 is -12. -12 divided by 3 is -4. And -4 minus 3 is -7. So -3, 1, 0, -3, 3, -7. Remember, the x values go first, the y values are second. Okay. Connect it with a straight line, so you get a nice straight line. There's your graph. Gene orders Elite socks. Each sock is $14 and shipping is $4. So you only pay the shipping charge once. So therefore, the cost as a result of socks, C, is equal to $14 per sock, S, plus the $4 shipping charge. Okay. Use the function rule to find the cost of 3 socks. So you just plug in 14 times 3 plus 4. 14 times 3, that's 42, plus 4, a grand total of $46. Each sock costs 14? Oh my goodness gracious. No thank you. Okay, graph the function shown by the table. Write a rule that represents the function. So looking at our y values, they are increasing by 3. So we're adding 3 every time. So that's our pattern. Y equals mx plus b. And so y equals, the m value is our pattern. So that will be a 3x. The b value is our y-intercept. That is the y value when x equals 0. So since x equals 0, we get negative 3. You put negative 3. So negative 1, 2, 3. And 1 comma 0. 2 comma 3. And 3 comma 6. Connect them all with a straight line. Describe the following graph, linear or nonlinear. Since there's no graph here, we're just going to skip this one. Alright, and that's it for review. Good luck on your tests. Be respectful. You're a reflection of me. And, yeah, send me an email if you have any problems. Thank you.